I started back in 2019 and I was investing into like Amazon. At the time, they were at about $800 per share. And I should have kept my money in there, but I pulled it out at about $1,000 and then they reached 3,000. Now from the time period of March to June, I made about 1,000 some bucks on Robinhood. I'm going to be showing you how I went about doing that, who I was studying, who I was watching, and how I learned the market. Now, when I first started an investment account, I was not using the Robinhood portfolio I currently have today. I was using a company known as Stash. It's an app you could download. And the reason I started kind of investing is because I was trying to save money. And the best way to do it is to simply have the app extract the money from my bank account and set it aside. The only reason that was a pretty good method of saving for me is because, for example, if I wanted to sell these stocks, let's say the stock market is closed, it's going to take a while for me to sell the stock, and then it's going to take a while for me to process it back into my bank account. So because of all that tedious, time-consuming thing, it allowed me to keep the money in there. Because it's like, I don't really need it that bad. I could find other sources to get that money in order to do what I need to do. So that was a good tactic in terms of saving money. So how did I start? I had prior experiences, but it was nothing major. It was as simple as me putting my money into Amazon and another company, and I watched it kind of grow a little bit. How do I amplify that? I watch YouTube videos. I do have a neighbor that's a nurse. I started asking him a few questions and stuff, and he was actually investing into the stock market. He has portfolio in Tesla. I think he has over 107 shares. All I know is he has a lot. It might be 67. But anyways, he has a whole bunch of shares in that. He was investing into NIO when it was at about like $9. I started investing into NIO when it was at 11, and I bought 116 shares. Once I made about $365 profit, it only went up a couple dollars, like from $11 to $17. I thought it was about to crash or drop. So I sold my shares and I made $365 off of it, just about. And it kept growing. NIO is currently at $50. Now, if I kept my money into it, I probably would have made a couple thousand off of it. Lesson learned, right? Now, the number one rule I'm going to suggest you follow by is to invest into companies that you believe in terms of long-term investments. If you want to go about investing in terms of short-term investments in order to accumulate a lot of money, you can go that route too. I've tried it. I was pretty successful at it in terms of whenever a company pops, I quickly pulled my money and moved on to the next company. But if you want to build a long-term portfolio, what you want to do is invest into companies that you believe in, you believe has a future, and you believe will become one of the biggest things that you currently know today. It'll be the next Apple. It'll be the next Tesla. It'll be the next Robinhood. Whatever company I believe has a future, I put my money behind it because I do believe it's going to do better in the future. Another thing I learned from losing some opportunities, for example, there was a company called NNDM, Nano Dimensions. I started investing into them when they were at about $2.15. Once they hit $2.40, I made, within about 2 hours, I literally made over like 116 bucks, pulled my money out. They kept going up. Now they're currently at $9. Think about that. They went up about 25 to 30 cents and I made $116 off of them. I forgot how many shares I owned of them, but for that little difference to give me 116 bucks, imagine me keeping my money in there because I believed in them long term. Imagine how much returns I would have got. It wouldn't be 116, it'd probably be a couple thousand. Mistake number 2. So this caused me to re-strategize how I went about investing. So now I'm doing it for the long term. I'm looking at companies that I believe will do well in the long term. So that way, when I put my money into them, even though they're fluctuating with the market, they're scaring me, I don't let the emotions or the current trend patterns dictate my next action. Just leave it alone, close my eyes, and just watch it happen. I do once in a while update myself on the news around that stock just to see what's going on with it. So I'm not blindsided when it takes a big dip. It's a risk, calculated risk. Now, the third thing I want to share with you, why am I so confident in the stocks I invest into? Okay, so I watch a YouTuber called Deadnsyde, and I am so confident in him because he does a lot of research. He does a lot of the legwork that I don't do in order to figure out what these companies are about. And when he wholeheartedly believes in a company, I wholeheartedly invest into it. And every single time I follow that pattern of trading, I won 100% returns, 115, 125. Regardless, when I went with his gut tuition, I would get a lot in return. So that's how I went about doing it. Now, is my method a risky way of going about investing into stocks? Maybe. But at the end of the day, stocks is really based off of belief systems, beliefs. What do you believe is going to do well? What do you believe isn't? And I have somebody I strongly believe in terms of their opinions, their analysis, their data, their studies. In order for me to wholeheartedly invest into a stock, I have to do my research. My research comes from Deadnsyde. I'm going to have his channel linked down in the video description below. And there you have it, guys. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know what it is down below. Ben GD here from Get Fixed, and I am out. Peace.